Hey, I've got a great video for you right now. I had an aha this morning when I was trying to figure out the best way to get documents from Dotloop to Docusign without creating too many steps in between, which would let us go into command. Right now, I think a lot of people are just downloading individual documents from Dotloop and then uploading them to command, which is fine. That's a good way to do it. A couple extra steps there. But we had talked about another option being downloading the full file, pulling it into Docusign and splitting it, which is fine. One extra step takes a few minutes. I found out a great way to do this. Super easy, super fast. You're going to be able to move files from your that are flat PDFs from your Dotloop to your Docusign so you can attach them in command. So let's get going. We're going to start off at agent.kw.com. Oops, helps if you type in the right actual address. All right, so agent.kw.com, it went ahead and logged me in. I'm in. We're going to go to opportunities, and I'm going to be working on one that's actually already closed out. It's completely done. So I'm going to come over here to all opportunities. And remember, if you have a hard time remembering these little icons on the left, you can click the KW and the names will show up. So I'm going to be looking for Amanda and Keith. So let's filter this by closed. Apply filters. So we're going to come over here to Amanda and Keith. And this is a closed one. This one closed last month, so we know it's good. It closed before we were doing compliance through command, but I want to go ahead and put my documents in here just to have them for future reference and just so I can show you. So we come to documents on their specific transaction, opportunity, and then we're going to click start a transaction. What that's going to do is that's going to kick us over to Docusign, and it's going to create a room, or what we used to call a loop. And one issue I will 100% tell you keeps showing up is it blocks the pop-up blocker will block it opening. So if you see it not doing anything, check your pop-up blocker. So we have created a room called Amanda and Keith. This room is attached to the opportunity. So I want to get all my documents from Dotloop here, all of them, into Docusign. So before, you could come over here and just hit download. Okay. And this is going to take a few, there. It's going to take a few minutes. And on a Mac, it's annoying because it auto opens. So that would take some time. You could download all the files, but then it creates a multiple documents file. And then you have to take it into Docusign and split it. So I was thinking, we can email flat PDFs to other agents. And I know Docusign has an email, so why can't I just email them straight from Dotloop to Docusign and then be in my Docusign? And the answer to that question is you can, and it's 1,000 times easier. So if we come into Docusign under Inbox here, you have a custom email that's given to your Docusign. And so I'm going to copy that email, come back to Dotloop. I have all my files selected, and then I'm going to hit share. Now, there's a lot of names in here, but if you go into Docusign, and I've already created a contact with this, but I just called Docusign inbox. I put that email and attach PDF to email. If you don't attach the PDF, this doesn't work. But we're going to share all these files to the inbox. So we're going to hit share. Role is required, so it is other. Share. Okay. PDFs. Ooh, PDFs totaling over 13 megabytes can't be sent. Wow, Dotloop's even giving me problems. So we'll do it one at a time. We'll do broker added docs, and then we'll do offers. So broker added docs, share, and we've got my Docusign. I'll just say other, share. It's in your broker docs. You're going to hit share. Make sure attach to PDF is selected. It should autofill after you create that DocuSign thing the first time. It'll always be there. It just doesn't save the role. We're going to hit share. Okay, those ones have been sent. And then we're going to declick those, and we're going to get about half of these because over 13 megabytes it won't send. And I'm going to hit share. We're going to skip, and we're going to hit our DocuSign inbox. Again, other, and then the most important, attach PDF to email. Hit share. Okay, those ones went through. And then I'm going to deselect all of these. And we're going to select all these. Now I will tell you, it does take about 2 or 3 minutes for it to get out of Dotloop system and into Docusign system. So if you're doing a whole bunch of these, you might bog it down a little bit. So just be patient with it as you're waiting for those files to come in. I would recommend only doing one file at a time, because if you start sending a bunch of things that are named the same, it's going to be hard to know which one goes to which room. And then if you have a question about that, throw that down below. But basically, if you send a buyer rep from Amanda and Keith, and I send a buyer rep from another one, it's going to create issues. So, and you know what? I don't think I clicked the attached PDF that time, just in case I did. If I did, I can delete the extras, but I don't think I did. So that is important because DocuSign only recognizes PDFs. You can also do this from your phone. If somebody sends you a signed contract or whatever, or an executed contract, and you can just forward it straight to DocuSign and it'll be in your inbox, and you just move it to the right room. So we're done there. All these files have been sent. We're going to give DocuSign a few minutes here to process those. And then I'm going to go back to my room here. This will be my inbox. This is my room. See, some of those have already come through. We're working in Amanda and Keith. So we'll go to documents. One thing I do want to point out is once you create the transaction in Command, this button turns into go to transaction. So I will always just access DocuSign through Command because it takes me directly to the room I need to be in. If you sign in just from DocuSign side, you have to take the extra steps to find the room you're supposed to be in. So just a heads up on that. Let's see where we're at now in our documents. All right, we've gotten closing docs. So that was the first 2 emails sent. We're waiting on the third one. So I'm going to wait until they're all there so I can show you how easy it is just to move them all in. But yeah, the go-to transaction is going to be really valuable for your DocuSign access in that. So let's give this a couple more seconds here and see if we can get the rest of our documents in. There we go. Now we've got 19. That looks right. So I'm going to select all of these guys. Selected all these files because I know all of these belong to Amanda and Keith. And I'm going to hit move, active rooms, and there's Amanda and Keith because it's the most recent one I've seen. Hit move. All those guys just got moved from the inbox to Amanda and Keith's room. Let's refresh this one. Bam. There's all of my documents from Dotloop straight into DocuSign. They're flat PDFs. So if we come over here to Command and we need to start attaching files, we hit Add a File, DocuSign, and let's grab a IABS, assign, buyer's rep, DocuSign, buyer's closing disclosure for information, 1 to 4 family. Residential buyer rep. Helps if you remember what they're actually called. Feel free to rename any of those. Information about minerals. We know that one right here. We're going to assign home inspection. For your protection, get a home inspection. Wire fraud. Assign. And then I believe that's all I have on this one. So that one's good. If I want it, this one's already closed, so I'm not going to submit it because we already have 1,000 submittals to go through. So you would hit submit to MC, but I could go to under contract here, and we can add an IABS. And then executed contract. This should be the executed one. And then we can go to our closed documents. We have a DA, sign, and then we have closing documents. This is the scans. And then, oh, sorry. I think that actually might have been the checks. Let's do, you can always click on the file to see what they are. Yeah. So I put that in the wrong spot. So how do I fix that? But as long as I haven't submitted, I can hit remove, and then we can do out of. There's my checks. This should actually be my CDA. So we put that up.